And what God told me is that I am not a God of your list.
I don't think you heard that. Okay, see how it started.
They asked Pastor Natalie, oh my goodness, you guys have been married 10 years and this, that, and the third. Was Pastor Michael everything on your list? Was he everything on your list? And I felt a hesitation in my wife's voice. I felt a little clearing of the throat. And I stepped back and I said, let me see what she about to say right here. Yes, Natalie, was I everything on your list? And you know, me and Natalie, we live a hot relationship, humble, open, and transparent. And she said, no, he actually wasn't anything on my list. I said, this heifer done gone on national TV and told them that I wasn't her relationship goal. She said, I thought my list had somebody who was tall and muscular and more Hispanic, Puerto Rican, green. I said, you wanted to be married to, what's his name, Derek Jeter or A-Rod, huh? This what you got, baby. And I began to think about it, that the list she had was made up out of her imagination. And all of us have some type of list. A list for our relationship, the list for our business, the list for what time we should get married and when we should be able to build the house and when we're gonna have kids. We have these lists. And what God told me is that I am not a God of your list. He told me, he said, Michael, many of my children are disappointed in relationships because they have made their list and they're asking me to be Santa Claus, to be the tooth fairy. Would you please, since I've been nice and naughty, will you please give me my list?
It is even more worrisome when everything we have on our list are physical. We focus so much on the container and not the content. So you hear things like he must be tall, dark, and handsome, super intelligent and narrow loaded. She must have it in front and behind. And one more thing, I don't want anybody more than 30 years. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with having a list. There is nothing wrong with desiring these things. But are your desires in line with God's desires? Here's the thing. If you're making your marriage decision based on the things on that list, if anything happens to any of those things on that list, you will be frustrated. And it is not the will of God for you to be frustrated.